Hey, it's Randy Barton for Extreme Faith and Fitness, Team Beachbody Coach. What about injuries? Today's coaching moment, all about injuries. What should I do if I get injured? How can I prevent injury? And how do I push through an injury? Let's talk about this. The two most common points for someone to injure while they're working out or being involved in athletics is going to be their shoulders and their back. That's the two most common injuries. If we threw a third one in there, it'd be the knees. And likely, you have had struggles with at least one of those areas. I think everybody I've met that's over the age of 15 has told me before that they've had lower back issues at some time in their life. Yep, that's me. 10 years ago, I broke my back in two spots. I had serious troubles with my back, and it didn't feel so pleasant. I didn't like it. If you've been following Extreme Faith and Fitness, you know right now my left shoulder has shooting pain through it whenever I try to do any resistance exercises. If you've been following us for a while, you know that I live with an umbilical hernia. So there's going to be things that we incur in life that we just don't like. There are going to be injuries, and it's just going to happen. I tell people this though, I would rather have a minor injury like this than to have a heart attack because I don't take care of myself and I don't exercise. However, especially with lower back, knees, and shoulders, we find something. It doesn't matter if you're an athlete or not. You're an athlete, you work out, you stay active, you're into fitness, you're into health. It's going to happen because you're being active. You're not active, you're going to have weak muscles in your back, you're going to have a bad back. Ironically, they also find that serious or large amounts of people that don't exercise have shoulder issues. And of course, if you're overweight, your knees are going to be pounded with every step you take. Fact of the matter is, I would rather have bad knees, back, and shoulder because I stayed active rather than the fact that I stayed lazy. That's probably you as well. But how about this? What happens? Say I get an injury. What should I do? You know, really, this portion of the video is going to be common sense, but I found something. Common sense isn't so common anymore. Or we always think that I'm the exception and I can break the rules. I know I'm thinking that way with my injuries, looking at my goals for the summer, and it's just, I don't have time to take it easy. But that's the thing, if an injury happens, you got to know your body a little bit. And if you have any question, go to the doctor. But if you know and you can recognize, wow, it's just a strain on this or a strain on that, you know your body and you know when it's just time to take it easy. And it's just time to modify your exercise, or it's time to take a week off or 2 weeks off. Make sure that your body's in good repair before you start using it. Trying to push something that's bent is going to break it, and you don't want to break your body. So don't be afraid to take a break and take it easy. As I mentioned, I've got goals. Well, you've got goals, and we want to reach those goals. So what do? This is the summer. This is the in season. This is when I'm trying to lean out. I'm trying to cut and get everything ready for the end of the summer when, you guys know this, when my family has a Myrtle Beach trip, and you want to look your best, your peak prime form right then. So what do I do with my goals and I have a shoulder injury? Well, it means that first off, I have to assess, is this something that I really need to get looked at? And if there's any doubt, go to the doctor. It means that in the meantime, I've got to be real about this and just take it easy, not work my shoulder the way it is. And if I find that taking it easy isn't helping anything after a few weeks or after even a workout, that means that I may have to stop entirely, which means I've got to be smart about it. Let me give you some examples. Yesterday I did insanity, which I never realized how many push-ups and shoulder work is involved in insanity until I had a sore shoulder. And I found something. I found out that if I went through this and tried to do everything just blazing speed, my shoulder was killing me. It was hurting. But if I took time to do everything in proper form, it didn't hurt near as bad. It was far better. So I found that it was more important for me to focus on proper form, and it didn't even hurt at all. I started cutting out just about everything with it. Anything that had my arms going up above my head, I didn't do it. You know, the frog jumps where you're down to squat and then every time you jump forward and back, arms in the air. I left my arms at my side because I want to be careful on my shoulder. When it came to the bonus move, the V push-ups, I didn't do them. You do jumping jacks. As long as there's no resistance on my particular shoulder, I don't know about yours, but on mine, it really doesn't give me any bother. It doesn't give me any pain at all. So you've got to be smart about it. You know your body. You've got to listen to your body. So you do get an injury and you do go to the doctor, and the doctor says you got to take 6 to 8 weeks off and you can't do anything. You've got to go to some physical therapy. What do you do then? You take 6 to 8 weeks off. You listen to the doctor because he knows a little bit more about this kind of thing than you do. Because you doing what you wanted to do led to an injury. Him doing, or she, he, she, whoever, your doctor doing what your doctor does leads to healing. So listen to them. If they tell you to take a break, suck it up. Take a break. During that time, nail your nutrition hard because nutrition is 80% of your results and you can still see at least some weight loss or maintenance even if you're not working out. And by all means, there certainly are a whole lot of workouts that you can do that aren't going to be using whatever your trouble area is, whether it be your back or your knees or your shoulder or something completely indifferent. Focus on other areas during that time. It doesn't mean that you have to just sit on your couch eating bonbons all day. No. That's not what it means. Now, what about a little preventative maintenance? How could we prevent an injury? Preventing injuries really isn't as hard as you'd think. If you're an athlete, there's some times where you're going to be involved in collisions on the course, on the field, wherever you may be, that's going to lead to an injury. But what about a general fitness injury? One of the greatest keys to staying away from injury is proper form. That's why if you're doing a Beachbody program, you constantly hear Tony, you constantly hear Shalene, you constantly hear Sean saying don't compromise your form. Quality over quantity. What I found out yesterday with my shoulder being at its sorest that it's ever been, what I found out yesterday is when I maintained perfect form, even though it's injured, almost no pain at all. Amazing. But it was when I tried to speed it up, when I started to get sloppy. For me, doing a push-up, when my butt started going up into the air, it started to get sloppy. And I knew that it was going to be painful because I was not in proper form. Get your butt down if you're doing a push-up. If you're doing something with your back, keep your back straight. If you were to have a straight line, if a broomstick or whatever, whenever you're picking something up, it should only touch between your shoulders and on your hip bones because you should have a straight back for it as well. For knees, you got to be careful in everything that you do. If you're squatting down, make sure that your knees are not past your toes. You've got to take care of your body. Preventative maintenance is going to be far better. You may say, well, when I was a teenager, I used to lift this weight, or back 2 weeks ago even, before an injury, I used to lift this weight. The fact of the matter is, you aren't there anymore. You've got to be careful of your body. It's the only body that you've got. God's made us to heal, but if we push ourselves to the breaking point, we may never be the same again. So we've got to be smart about our injuries. If you get an injury, it's going to happen. Nurse it, take care of yourself. If you're fearing an injury, take it easy. And if at all possible, prevent the injury. Keep good form, stay within your bounds, stay within your limits. Very simple coaching moment this week, but I hope it's helped you out. Maybe you've experienced back, shoulder, or knee pain, knee injury. If you have, you know that you can heal. It takes a while. Let it heal before you start pushing yourself even further. Now, Randy Barton for Extreme Faith and Fitness. See you next time.